Alright, guys. We are here with the quarterfinals match of the ESL Weekly. We're on the North American server where a young Frenchman, Team Liquid's CLEM, has stepped forth into the depths of the night where he does tend to play late at night. He loves playing this tournament, but a much rarer sign up for this tournament. Up here in the top left, it's Dark. And Dark is one of these players who traditionally has gotten the better of CLEM. Even when CLEM's looking pretty unstoppable in the matchup, Dark was the one guy, and he actually ended CLEM's tournament streak. CLEM had this amazing tournament streak until, I believe it was one of the TSL tournaments, and Dark just basically played much heavier on the units, lighter on the drones than most of his CLEM's opponents would, and used the extra army that he got because of that to constantly be the guy to go first. Every time CLEM moved out, he'd get hit by a Ling backstab, there'd be Banelings rolling into his worker line, and Dark would always find a way to just be the one who was taking the tempo and attacking CLEM early on. So CLEM really struggles against Dark's style. I know Zest did the same thing in PvT to him. CLEM is a player who, when he plays just completely confident, unafraid Terran, he looks so powerful. And when he's the one picking the fights, it looks like you just can't beat him in an engagement. It looks unfair. And that is partially why we are seeing a very dirty build out of Dark, guys. 6 Zerglings into a Roach Warren. This is an incredibly committed pressure. Now, it's pretty rare to go a full 6 Zerglings and the Roach Warren. Thankfully for CLEM, the SCV is going to scout. You can see here he's going to mine this mineral to open up a quicker path for his Reaper. And when he sees this pool first, look, 4 Zerglings sneak out. These 2 Zerglings pretending that they're the only 2 Zerglings to come out. And he doesn't know just yet what's going on. Now, his Reaper will leave the base. I think the Overlord may have caught a glimpse of that. I'm not quite sure. This is very, very dangerous right now because this is a big attack. Probably an all-in, but at 16 drones, it's definitely an all-in from Dark. Hasn't built a single extra drone. He's already building 2 roaches. There's going to be even more coming in from there. Those Zerglings will come in and deny his command center. He's going to have to build a bunker on the high ground ASAP. Gets in the main, sees 2 Zerglings and a Queen. Hasn't spotted the Roach Warren just yet. He's got a second Marine, actually, so with the second Marine and a bit of micro, he might be able to do it. Reaper at the front should win that fight versus the Zergling. We can monitor that in the bottom right of the screen. You see, that Reaper did get microed, but because he was microing the Reaper, he lost both of his Marines. Oh no, and his Reaper just went down to the Roaches as well. He spots the Roaches, cancels the command center, rebuilds it on the high ground. He needs to build a bunker. He's got nothing that fights, though. He's got no fighting units right now, guys. The SCVs do take down that Zergling, but he doesn't have a single fighting unit. And as a result, I do think CLEM is dead. He'll get 2 Marines out as the Roaches breach his ramp. Will we see Dark more for Ravager? Yes, we will. He should have moved that to the side so it doesn't slow down the other Roaches, but fair enough. He's just going for it. Going. Second bunker on the way. First bunker, will that even be able to finish? As I said, these Marines will pop out just after the Roaches get to his wall. This is a huge problem for CLEM. He's gone Cyclone. I actually think he should have gone tank here just for more raw firepower. Now, SCVs are starting to take some damage, as is the reactor. Okay, he's going to get the bunker up, and he's going to get another Marine out. Oh, the repair here is very important. Well worth sacrificing SCVs. This is a 16 drone all-in, but the reactor is down, and that means he's in, mate. You can see he's healing up damaged Roaches by morphing them into Ravagers. Finally, a Roach is going to go down there. SCV's being forced to fight, but oh no, he loses the bunker. That means the Marines are going to go down. They fall. Great lock-on with this Cyclone. Dark tries to pull the Roach back, but it does go down. Nice micro forward on the Cyclone. And CLEM, though, just gets taken out. A very crisp, aggressive play on one of the shortest rush distance maps. Well played by Dark. All right, guys, game number 2. CLEM immediately rehosted as quickly as possible. The lobby link was literally put down in the chat channel before it felt like the previous game even finished. So very happy to say, okay, screw you, you cheesy bastard. You got me. You surprised me. Fair enough. This is Dark in the bottom left, and it all comes back to that Zergling trick, guys. He should have left the SCV on the other side of the map and then brought the Reaper home. If he brought that Reaper home, he could have defended his command center, kept it alive, lifted that to the high ground, and then had a Reaper and 2 more Marines to put in his bunker, which would have been a complete game changer. So very unfortunate for CLEM, but dude, you got to play safe. These guys really do respect CLEM. And it's kind of like, I feel like CLEM got so good that nobody just plays their standard game versus CLEM. Like Rogue, Dark especially are so cheesy when they play against him, but they tend to catch him off. And it's kind of like this thing where he should be going into these series not just playing Terran versus Zerg. He should be playing Terran versus Dark and Terran versus Rogue. And looking to scout a little better, especially on that small map to start of the series. Got to hedge your bets a little more. Now, Dark here, you might think, why is he floating so much money? Nope, going to go double queen, 20 supply, very standard stuff. Double queen, 4 zerglings, and he'll build the Overlord, and then zergling speed next, I believe, as soon as a lava pops out. Yeah, Overlord, 6 zerglings. Oh, guys, so this is one of the biggest maps in the pool, where the Reaper arrives really late, basically when your queen's almost popped. Now, the reason Dark builds 6 zerglings is because he's a highly inefficient player who likes to build extra insurance. Now, it makes no sense to do that. It's very inefficient. It's okay on a small map, makes no sense here. It's a very, very big waste of money. Him and Rogue have both been doing this much more than I'd like recently. And it's kind of just become a thing where they're like, yeah, let's make sure we don't lose zerglings to the Reaper. You can see just how many extra hit points. There's 2 full hit point zerglings there that didn't really contribute anything during that little dance. So definitely something where I don't think it's worth doing. I do think it's a waste of time and money. And getting an extra drone up earlier would be more efficient. But this is a divergence between the Korean mindset and the EU mindset. The EU Zergs are a bit more about efficiency at the moment. The Korean Zergs are a bit more about control and safety. Now, that's funny because I think of Serral as the #1 control and safety Zerg. But he is getting away with 4 Zerglings and usually not losing a single drone or Zergling in his games. But nonetheless, guys, quick second barracks comes down. So this is 3cc into 211 for Clem. A very good build order. Got the Hellions on the way as well. Alright. So at this point, there's 1 worker left on gas. I think he'll put back on gas pretty soon. Maybe here with his second lava inject popping in the main. Hellion Reaper pokes in the 3rd. Drones are starting to come out there. Still hasn't put back on gas. That's interesting. And he's actually rallied to his main still, rather than out to his 3rd. So Dark not changing his rally points. And now he's changed his natural rally point, but not his main. And that's because he's rushing a second gas and a Roach Warren. Roach Warren. Hello, you've forgotten your Roach Warren, Dark. There's no reason to be taking that second gas unless you're going Roach Warren or Lair right now, dude. Dark making a little bit of a mistake here. I don't know what he's up to, man. This is so bizarre. Now he changes the rally point, and he'll pull those 3 workers off minerals, and he's going to go double Evo chamber. Oh, okay, so he's going very quick upgrades. Okay, maybe not a Roach play then. We'll see how this one unravels. Which way the cookie crumbles. So it's going to be very quick 1-1. Now, on the other hand, there's going to be a quick 2 barracks marine push coming. Dark was not properly positioned with his Overlord, so he loses that early. But he does know about a lot of marines being out. So Clem not really hiding his build order at all. Dark gets a bit of free information. A little lazy from Clem, but I think worth it to get the Overlord kill. 1-1 upgrade starting up here pre-5 minutes. And he's going to go straight for a 3rd and 4th. Gas guys are on the 3rd base. Now, Dark doing that just because this happens to be the base where the drones kind of oversaturate a little bit. And still no Lair, still no Baneling Nest. Interesting build order from Dark, guys. And when I say interesting, I mean, where's your Lair? Where's your Bane Nest? What's going on? Very quick 4th base. Oh, he's playing super greedy. Did he know Clem was going to do the 2 barracks build? Because he headed in this direction before he even saw those Marines kill the Overlord. And now he goes Lair and Baneling Nest. Wow. Oh my god, Solar was doing this a fair bit versus Big Gabe at Katowice. Incredible greed. Can he defend the push, though? He's only got 5 Zerglings. He's been incredibly greedy. He's got 8 Queens. This is not that many Marines. It's only about 12, 13 Marines in here, I think. He's not got the full 16. How many is that? Let's take a look. Oh, 15, actually. It's 15 Stim Marines, and he's not in position. I don't think he can defend this 4th base. Dark being way too greedy, trying to saturate a 4th base super early, and not being ready for what was a very standard build and something he had vision of on the way because he saw 8 Marines come down. There was no way that was a 1 barracks opening. It had to be 2 barracks for him to have 8 Marines at that moment. Dark, though, has played a very greedy game, and now, as long as you don't have the 4th base finish on time, these drones aren't worth a lot. So as a result, he's stuck kind of playing a build that has not worked out for him. Because he still hasn't taken a 5th gas, that tells me that Dark may be heading for a quick Hive and Ultralisks. But as I say that, a Hydroden goes down. So he's going to be taking gases 2x2, I believe. Drops a Macro Hatch. Double Macro Hatch in the main. Just going to try and make up for the fact that he knows he's going to misinject. So 2 Macro Hatcheries and a 4th and a 5th base. My lord. Now Clem is going 4th command center, but dude, he doesn't realize just what level of greed he's facing off against. Does need to remember his reactors. And he does scan on the front, looking at Clem's vision there. Gets a creep tumor, but has to pull on out. Drop on the left side, going to start to put a dent in the creep there. Once again, I almost feel like avoid the creep, ignore it, and just push through onto the hatcheries because Dark's had such a good head start on this. Now these Marines are going to just push through there. He's going to think about going a little bit deeper. Does go for a second scan and only loses a single Marine. Well worth it there. Hydra upgrades are in the way right now for Dark. He's gone for the double gas. Like I said, so he's gone straight from 4 to 6 gases. He can't really afford Hydras at all right now. Can't even afford many Banelings. Does now saturate these gases though. 77 workers is a very solid economy. It's an alternate way of playing, but it is a good one. Double factory with the Widow Mine production about to start up here for Clem. Widow Mines for Ling Bane, tanks for Banes and Hydras. Of course, the Widow Mines help a lot against the heavy Ling Bane numbers. Dark there, defending with almost pure Baneling, not the most efficient force, as Marines can continually pick those units away. And Marines here poking on both sides. Clem not really finding any big damage. Somebody is disconnecting. It's me. Fuck my life. I'm sorry. Clem did not lose Marines, thankfully. Hopefully the players didn't feel that. For those who don't know, it has been flooding here in Australia. So I've got leaks coming through my apartment building from my bloody, literally electrical. The electrical switchboard has water like dripping out of it, which is very scary. So that's not good. Not to mention the slow leak creating a mold patch in a room which we have sealed off at the moment. So flood life, fun life. Marines picking up over there. Sorry about that, guys. It looks like we have stabilized on the internet, so let's get back into the smooth commentary. 2-2 is ahead for Dark, and he's already going Hive. 80 worker economy. He's going to try and establish the middle of this map. He's done a great job, Clem. He's taxed his opponent. He's lost almost no units, and he's already almost maxed out. But he does not have the scariest army. It's mostly Marines, some Widow Mines. Well, actually, 7 Widow Mines is a pretty good count, and tanks, and Dark's not backstabbing him at all. I gotta say, it's a little dangerous for Dark. I feel like Dark, this is the moment where he'd love to be counterattacking and swinging in. Does roll in the Widow Mines and the Hydras. Actually kill a whole bunch of medevacs, guys. 1 medevac and 18 Marines. Sorry, apparently I'm blind. Marines gunning down the Zerglings. Liberators are not going to do well. The Hydras will take those out. Yep. And the Widow Mine doesn't do that much. Nice micro on the Marines, though. That Siege Tank comes forward. Hydras are going to get punished. They go for the Siege Tank snipe. The Banelings force the Marines back, but a lot of Hydras go down as the price for that. And that is a very expensive trade for Dark. You never want to be trading Hydras versus Marines, guys. You can see in the units tab, he's now out. And I think Clem's broken him. This was just a bit too good of a push on the front. And without breaking these rocks down and without enough creep spread forward, you could tell Clem's Marines, they'd opened up this avenue. He took a good enough fight, and that will be good enough for him. This is... I mean, it's very nice having all these hatcheries, but his building placement's really bad. Dark's units are having to go around. You should always leave spaces between your buildings. Never create wall-offs as a Zerg player is the golden rule. I mean, he might actually pop out Ultras that are completely trapped if he chooses to build any of those. We'll see what happens. Hydra's coming forward without that much support right now. Clem, that's a very dangerous move. And nice spready from Dark. Does he have enough to follow through? Well, a few Overseers actually go down. I feel like this was a scrappy and sloppy push from Clem, and he will lose all of his Widow Mines because of it. Will he, though? Where's the Overseer? It's a bit far back. A couple of those Widow Mines do hold. Clem still does have the position. And remember, it is equal upgrades, 2-2. +2 vehicle armor on the way, which is going to help both the Widow Mines and those medevacs as well. And it is just mass Marine mine right now. Clem's going to try and micro this one out. See what he can get. 2 more command centers are on the way for him. Dark's on 97 drones, so I thought Clem had broken through. He has not. 11 Hydras are out, 44 Lings. He doesn't have many Banes, and that's the big weakness. In terms of Dark's army supply, it's not down that much. And he does have a decent Hydra count, but remember, these are +2 armor Marines versus +0 attack Hydras. And, oh, good Widow Mine does find a nice hit. Overseer, a bunch of Ling Bane goes down. Dark just so low on the Banelings right now. He's got money for days, but yeah, another giant Widow Mine hit. And Dark playing incredibly sloppy with his engagements, man. Marines coming on forward. We've got the Hydras and the Banes there. And here we go. Marines there. Hydras and Banes doing what they can. Okay, he's going to look for a bit of a surround with the Zerglings at least. Oh, drags a Widow Mine into the friendlies. Clem has not been retargeting his mines so much today. But he's got a great supply count. I wonder if this will be an orbital. Yeah, he's going to start adding extra orbitals because he knows Lurkers could be out soon. And Honestly surprised that Dark didn't make them a little sooner. I thought he'd just add a couple in, because even 1 or 2 lurkers makes it very hard for Clem to engage. Oh man, catches him mid-morph, but not a very big massive units, and Clem once again taking a little bit of friendly fire from that Widowmine. The lurkers will be able to finish just barely in time, and Clem's going to have to get the heck out of dodge. He's just started triple ghost production, and man, wow. All the lings get massacred, but a lot of the bio does take damage as well. Clem looking to maybe jump on the lurkers. Clem, you got to get out of there, I think. Dark does respect it and back off. Maybe respecting it too much. I think with Mass Queen transfused, there's no way Clem can engage this. I'd love to see Clem working angles a bit more, multi-pronging, diving down the left, hopping into the main, and then hopping, you know, work this triangle, hit this base, hit this base, hit this base up here. That left side, very exposed, and he's allowing Dark to just focus on defending one angle, which, hey, guess what? Lurkers are pretty good at that. You're still mostly on a bio-mine army right now. You haven't made the ghost tank transition. So I'd love to see Clem split one, drop down this south side, get in the back of the natural, split the reinforcements down the left side of the map as well. I think a one-directional push ain't working for him. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Here goes Dark. Dark with a big old Chad YOLO move, and he should be able to get that planetary. This is a very decisive maneuver. And, yep, gets the planetary. Nicely done. The Bio Ghost tries to come in and punish. The Bio flank from the back doesn't do that much, though, and I think Clem maybe a little overeager to punish this. He kind of jumps on it, but he kind of jumps into the spikes of the Zerg. Does clean up a lot of lurkers, and he does still have his Ghost standing. I thought that might be one of those engagements where at the end of it, you just don't quite have the numbers to punish him. But as it is, he can float an orbital down there. He's trying to build more command centers. Of course, this side only has 1 tank. This base will only have 2 Widow Mines at it. Going to try and snipe a few Hydras, taking out whatever he can. He's got a siege tank there. Good idea to just pick up and get out. 1 Ghost gets left behind, does go down. And Widowmine does stall out the advance, but only momentarily. This command center needs to leave. He cannot defend this position. Clem does not have the energy on the Ghosts, and Dark is just shoving it up the guts right now. I think Dark is kind of banking on the fact that Clem does not realize how much economy Dark had for so long. So, you know, you're taking good fight after good fight, and as Clem, you think, well, Dark's reinforce is going to run out. He's not going to have as strong a wave. But you don't realize that he has been at 100 drones for such a long time, and he can trade like this all day. We can bring up that income tab and take a little look. You see it? Of course, they did not... Well, they didn't host this on GameHeart, guys. Pleb Gamers. It does go down. So you can see the income tab, 1,500 resources, minerals more a minute, and more gas on that income. +2 ranges coming in for the Zerg as well. +3 armor for the vehicles coming in for the Terran player. The double Liberator on the right side is going to cue that in to come back for a bit of a CG siege. He's got to watch out for this. Dark's looking to come in for a big old YOLO. Dark just absolutely looking to dive on top. The Widowmine friendly fire. There's not much bio here, which means the Widowmines are friendly firing more than he would like. He's going to have to once again pull back from the front. Is Clem. Does lose a Ghost there to a couple Banelings. That one going down as well. Clem, he's just barely hanging on right now in terms of economy. And I think that's why there's definitely an idea, a thought process that is slow the game down. Slow the game down, mate. Do not speed things up right now. I think the Liberator harass there, pretty good. That Lib had 13 kills. 16 drones have died this game. Double Lib comes in from here, and quick reaction by Dark. Army pushing down the right side, but big backstab. Get out of there, Clem. Run! Okay, so Clem's going to F2 his army home. His double Lib on the front will eventually get cleaned up by the Queens. Hydra's Banes coming on in. Ooh, a bunch of the bio does go down. Not the most efficient Baneling hits, though. The Hydras get sniped. And you know what? I think that's acceptable for Clem, who defends what looks like a big Ling run by on the left side at the same time. Liberator's sieging up every single base at once. He's doing a Vindicta. Clem here saying, I'm the young gun. I'm the one with the fast hands. You're an old man, Dark. How do you like dealing up with sieged up, queued up harassment units? I shift click. You need to actively click, dickhead. And Dark not going to be happy about this. These are his last 4 queens. He's out of Hydralisks right now. And those queens are going to go into range. If he doesn't actually transfuse, and he doesn't, he's going to lose yet another queen goes down. Very limited anti-air for Dark. And these Liberators are just causing him such a hiccup in his income. We can see in his income tab, it's not at that big 3,500 minerals right now because he is having to pull drones away constantly. This is allowing Clem to max back out. Not just that, Clem's on 13 ghosts. 13 ghosts. A lot of them starting to get much higher in the energy as well. Going to be way more effective. He does still have a lot of Widow Mines, but remember, as I said, he's got to be real careful because he's not really standing and shooting, but instead sniping with the Ghosts. It means you don't have continual damage output. If you don't have continual, just, real constant gradual damage output, what happens is the front-running Zerglings will basically drag the Widow Mines into your base, or into your army, I should say. And, oh man, Ghosts once again getting surrounded. It's a really good fight here for Dark. Catches a lot of these units. Good spready on the medevac. That Liberator will go down to the Spore. We've still got a Liberator in the top left. Still being annoying. And another Parasitic Bomb comes in. That's going to drag some damage into the other medevacs. A couple medevacs have fallen. Units lost ab still looking pretty good for Clem. 10,000 resources ahead. Make that 9,000 exactly, actually. Liberator changes angles. Should kill these. Essentially, these are Hydra kills, remember? Not Lurker kills. But he will take out both of those, so very nicely done. The Lib Harass still being a big old pain in the butt. Widowmine Bio goes pushing on all sides. I feel like he's doing a bit too much running away at this point, is Clem, and not enough standing and fighting, but the Liberators are the real thing that's causing so many problems. Dark he's maxed out, but it's all on Ling Bane, and 106 drones. In the chaos of dealing with the Liberators, it feels like he doesn't have enough Hydras. He's got 0 Queens right now, which, to be fair, he's got 10 hatcheries, so he doesn't need them. And that is one of the advantages of, double macro hatch, but also now being up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bases, plus the 2 macro hatcheries, means you do not need Lava Inject anymore. It's a waste. And Queens, probably not high enough damage for their supply costs, so not too unhappy to trade those out of his composition. Uh-oh, that's a dead planetary, though. Get your SCVs out of there. Widow Mines ain't going to do much against Lurkers either, are they? And, oh man, that Baneling takes out 3 Widow Mines. Almost all the Widow Mines go down there. This is a great push for Dark. If he can kick out one more base, then Clem's just dead in the water economically. I mean, he's floating another command center out. You can see that he just doesn't have the bank to work with the way Dark does. And he's got, like, Liberators and Widow Mines everywhere, but it feels like at this point Clem is struggling to put a push together. I think he was a little low, honestly, on Marines and Marauders. And look at this, he's going to lose another base. Clem, he somehow just kept walking his ghosts in and getting them killed by small numbers of Zerg. And then when he needs ghosts against the Lurker Hydra, they're nowhere to be found. It feels like somehow Dark engaged the ghosts with the Ling Bane, and he engaged the other units, the Marines and the Marauders and the Mines with the Lurkers and the Hydras. So he found a way to have his units countering Clem's units. Clem's units always seem to be in the wrong setup, in the wrong position. And now you've got a Clem who's desperately mining off these 2 bases. He does still have income. He can still remax. He's not dead, but look at the bank building for Dark. Dark's got insurance, and Clem, on the other hand, has 0 insurance. He's so close to dead. Like, any big fight that goes wrong, and he's out of this game. Liberators have all been cleaned up. Yes, there's still a few Widow Mines peppered around the map, but look at this, guys. Zerglings are going to get in. Okay, Planetary is there. Never mind. Does have a Planetary up on that base. We've got a Lurker on the backside. He's going to try and take out that Ghost Academy. Very annoying for Clem to deal with. He sends 2 Ghosts to deal with it. How many Ghosts are we at right now? 12. So he's rebuilt his Ghost count a little bit, but just unable to find fights on this big map. The movement really seems to be favoring Dark. Pathogen Glands coming in as well. Widow Mines could get some decent hits, and indeed he does. A couple of Hydras and Zerglings do go down. Bio Ball running around, doing what it can. We'll take out a few of these Baneling Cocoons, slowly pushing back the creep. He's trying to set up a bit of a pre-spread on the high ground. Marines and Marauders will try to bait these Banelings into a bad fight. Maybe a little bit too much F2ing going on for Clem, to be honest, guys. He's got Widow Mines everywhere now, but look at this. Look at how well Dark's doing it. A few Zerglings go in. That. Nice unburrowed. Ghosts will clean it up. Dark realizes the center base is very fragile. A few Banelings or Lings in there could spell disaster for Clem. Clem is on 55 workers. That does mean he has a gigantic army. He's been allowed to max out. If he wins a fight and pushes in the rallies, he still wins this game. Despite Dark having the superior income for a long time, he's traded a lot worse. And remember, if you win a fight, you get on top of their rally with your superior army count. That's good. Liberator gets cleaned up. Those Widow Mines will go siege in the top left side. 1 Lurker does go down there. And there we go, Widow Mines. If drones transfer, they could take some big hits. Ooh, Snipes landing on a few of these Lurkers. He's going to need another scan there, and he does get it. A couple of these Lurkers going down. Uh-oh. Link Bane! Oh my god, he changes targets from the Banelings and actually gets a big hit on the Marines. Another Lurker does get sniped down. Command Center does lift. No Command Center to the top left. He's got a tank up there. The tank will go down to the Zerglings. The Bio taking a few big volleys from the Lurkers. And look at this, the tank sieges, a few Marinas are up there as well. The Lings are going to continue on in. That Widow Mine might be the saving grace, but no, it only hits a couple Zerglings. The Marines, can they hang on? Ghost trying to fight against the Banes. They got to do a spready. The Marines getting pushed back. Clem spreading for survival. And he does hang on against what was a lot of expensive units, Lurkers and Banes. He's up almost 20,000 resources in the units lost tab, which is, of course, very nice. But is it enough when you've got a Zerg that continues to devour the map? Now, these Widow Mines in the top left, once again, denying Dark's income. Dark's income is going to start dropping below that 3,000 mineral mark as his bases run dry. Another Lurker gets sniped down. Is this that giant counter push we were talking about? 140 supply versus 95 in terms of army. Both players may be max, but Clem has a gigantic army. He's denying 4 reasonably fresh mineral patches in the middle base for Dark. Marines in that top left side going to go around the Lurker and see if they can dive on past it to find more damage. On the front, though, this is where the real damage could happen. Neural, he neurals a ghost, and then he snipes another ghost, and then he snipes another ghost, maybe? He's gonna snipe 1 ghost, he snipes 2 ghosts, he snipes 3 ghosts! Dark literally just neuraled a ghost and sniped 3 of his ghosts. That's friggin' awesome, and only Dark would ever do that. We always talk about the Infestor being Dark's special unit. Well, Dark there, bigger brothering. Clem says, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Fungal! A Burrow Infestor gets a big fungal. Clem quickly picks up, saves some of the ghosts, but the rest of his units need to get out of there. There's so much Ling Bane. And look at that! He drags the Widow Mines off to the left. Dark with spectacular micro under pressure. There's only like 2 Banelings in there, but they are right in the center of the Marine Marauder. The Widow Mines and Libs unable to burrow. He frantically pulls back. Can he survive? Can he hang on? I don't think so. I think this was a good enough fight for Dark. I'm not sure. I think the Infestors will go down, as will the Lings. Clem keeping a handful of units alive. But you got to look at the reinforced. Mass Zergling Hydra being rebuilt. Orbital Command Center is now exposed. And I think that was a good enough fight. The ambush festers, the cherry on top of the fuck you cake, which Clem is right now very, very sadly having to take a bite out of, and Dark, the one who handed it to him, of course, very happy with his position, looking to finish off this 2-0, a nice easy game 1 victory. There are still Widow Mines all over the map, just being absolute shitbags. He's got a few Widow Mines on the left side as well, but that base is now mining, and look at that income tab. Yes, it's below 3,000 minerals a minute for Dark, but you've got to compare it to Clem's economy. That's down to 1,000 minerals a minute. It's still 2.5 times the income, relatively speaking. Dark is still destroying this game in the income war. He's got a fresh base there that will be mining again soon. Another fresh base there, which the Liberator is harassing, so well done by Clem. But I think at this point, it's looking more and more like this is a last-ditch effort for Clem, who, yes, he's rebuilding his SCVs, but look at that. This command center unable to land. So frustrating for him. Mass Ling Lurker. Only a few Banelings. Does he have enough units to kill the Lings, though? That's, oh my god, a random Hellmuffin joins the party. Do we even bother using a snipe on that? No, he's just sniping Hydras for now. And the command center does lift off and pull back. There's only 2 ghosts left, guys. Does not have a lot of anti-lurker firepower. The Liberator is still dancing in the top left. He keeps repositioning it. Dark keeps repositioning the Spore Crawler in the bottom right. A Liberator there as well. The Liberators, they're buying time for Clem in that they're slowing down Dark's income. But you know what? Dark does eventually clean up the Lib there. He hasn't cleaned up the one in the bottom right just yet. Let's look at that income tab again. You can see this has had an impact. The Liberator's lowering his income by a good 1,000 minerals a minute. He's down below 2,000, about 1,900. Clem has got 44 SCVs. He actually rebuilt some workers. He's going to scan. He'll take out that Zergling, but there's more behind it. And remember, a Liberator and 1 Widow Mine will not defend this very quickly. Marines and Ghosts coming over. There's a Planetary to the top right. Okay. Not too many SCVs exposed. And the Lings, a lot of them are going to die. It's a bit wasteful for Dark. Dark, there's only so many resources left on this map. Running Lings in like that is very wasteful. Running a Lurker in and throwing it away. Dark, this is not what you need to do to win this game. Dark needs to consolidate. He can't be just running around these tiny squads of units and throwing them out. He's got to be consolidating and crushing this base. But he's not doing it. Another Liberator. Okay, so it looks like the Liberator repositions. This is a 17 kill Lib. It kills a Hydra there. This squad of units comes in, the Hellmuffin being annoying. But look at that. What does a Lurker kill? When it's on its own, not much. Lings will come in again. Oh, this was what he was distracting for. He gets a good Widow Mine, though, does Clem. He's going to lose some SCVs. But you know what? It's only a handful. It's only a handful of them. Lurkers in the top get cleaned up as well. Dark getting more and more wasteful. He wants to finish off Clem, but this kid just will not die. And somehow, Clem is fighting his way back into this game. The Liberator still alive in the bottom, being an absolute bag of dicks. And look at that, he comes in with the counter push. He's going to take out this base. Uh-oh, though. This does open up the chance for Dark to come in with a big old backstab. That could spell a big problem for Clem. The Liberator still doing so much damage, though. It's up to so many kills. His army comes back. The SCVs are going to hide there. The orbital command centers will defend. And you know what? Dark is not being cost efficient here by any means. Not even close to it, guys. Snipes pop the Lurker. The Bio squad there is getting surrounded. He's got to pick up. You got to get out. You got to get out. You cannot afford to lose these units, Clem. Oh no, the Hydra managed to kill the Liberator as well. And it looks like maybe, just maybe, by denying this base, will Dark be able to secure the victory? And F2 brings that Liberator home. It gets bopped. There's a Widow mine there, but it's not denying the bases. And guys, Dark, he's got the very top left mining. He's got the bottom right with a little bit of mining. Widow mine's going to have something to say about it, but the Overseer should allow that to get cleaned up. And Dark right now, let's test his mining. Oh no! Oh no, guys, he has like 8 drones following a drone in the main. That's so over at this base, that's so unfortunate. He's also massively oversaturated on that base. And Clem, he's going to strike up here. He says, okay, you just threw the kitchen sink at me. I'm going to counter strike and I'm going to do it hard. Now, he's got a lot of healing available in these medevacs, but the spores will stop him from chasing these drones down. I don't think killing drones matters at all. There is way too many drones on this map for Dark. It's still very close in the army value, but this is a huge win for Dark. If he can get the command center with his 6 Hydralisks, that'll be massive. Chases the SCVs back to the planetary. Losing that base might be the end of Clem. Because what else does he have? He's got, right now, only 3 orbitals, so 1 of 3 orbitals going down would be huge. Banelings do hit some of these units. Clem redrops there. He targets down the Baneling. He's going to try and target the Spore Crawler down as well, and that will not be able to kill a medevac before it goes. Orbital did die down here, so he's down to just a few orbitals. He's only got a couple mineral patches left that he's mining from, does Clem. But at the same time, his army is doing big damage by denying this top left side. If he could also find a way to kill the bottom right, that would be huge. Marines run into the Hydras, though, but they're outnumbered. And that drop does not find the damage. Uh-oh, he's going to get overrun. Oh, the Banelings that were waiting burrowed in his natural all game. Finally on burrow for Dark. And oh my god, Dark just does get in on top, but the Lings get held. The rally of just a handful of Marines survives for now. That command center will lift off. No vital infrastructure going down for Clem just yet, even though he is close to being supply blocked, arguably. I mean, he's taken out 3-4 hatcheries. The entire top left of the map has been denied. Dark is back to 1200 minerals mining. It's a few patches in the middle, and it's the bottom right. Gets a big Lings around. Doesn't kill many units, though. And what's he got that shoots up? 6 Hydras, and he's building 1 Infestor. That Infestor is the very last bit of gas that Dark has. He has no gas mining. He only has 5 Banelings. He has no ability to build more gas. He's trying to take the gases in the middle. Lurker Den will get taken out here. A Fungal and some Hydras focusing some medevacs would be a big problem for Clem. Clem, he's going to have to pick up and leave. Just get out of there. With the Hydras there, he doesn't want to take any risks, and indeed he does pick up and leave. Widow Mine in the bottom right does go down. Dark here, as he establishes a full base, bottom right, half a base in the middle, which still has about, almost 2,000, yeah, about 2,000 minerals to mine from it. That's going to be big. Clem, though, he's still got this base, 100, 500, 2. He's got about 14, 1,500 minerals himself in that right side base. He's going to try and take an orbital on the left side. The question is, can he actually defend it? I think he's got enough. And this squad on the left side, 2 Ghosts, 2 Marauders, and about 10 Marines. And it is... Ooh, loses a Marine. He sees the Infestor. He knows he's got to get out of there. He cannot let that Infestor fungal these medevacs. Nor can he let these Hydras shoot them down. Hydras actually give up on that chase. Dark could have maybe got that full medevac. Would have been huge. On the other side, we've got drones trying to evacuate here. Hatchery tries to get retaken. There's still a pack of drones just hiding in the ground on that side of the map. Changelings for Dark coming forward, trying to get vision. He's going, what's going on? What are you mining from? Well, for Clem, it's once again just this one little bastion of economy. The units lost tab, we haven't checked in on that in a while. 82,500 resources for Dark, 57,000 for Clem, so that is an advantage of about 25,000. And what this tells us, guys, is there's a lot of minerals still on Clem's side of the map, right? Whereas Dark, he's got a lot of minerals on this base, but then he needs to start taking the bases on Clem's side, and he does pop that base up in the top left. Oh, man. If Clem goes up there with even a single Marine, that would be so massive. But he's like, oh, you wouldn't do that right now. You're so focused on defending the bottom. So Clem doesn't even check it, and this could be what loses him the game. I keep saying this could lose Clem the game. This could lose Clem the game. Not a good fight. Not a good fight. Get out of there, man. You can't afford to trade like that. You do need better than 1 Marine for each Hydralisk. Now, Clem checks the top left, and he should very quickly be going up there, even if it's just 8 Marines and a medevac. If I were Clem, I would actually try to go with a double medevac Marine drop to the bottom right, and then just harass this top left with like a tiny set of units. He's got a lot of Marines coming out. How many medevacs? 13 medevacs still. Definitely doesn't need to build any more medevacs for the rest of this game. Masses of Ling Bane. That's a lot of Ling Bane, guys. Oh, man. Are there any Widow Mines? There's 5 Widow Mines. So he does have a few of them. Very wary of what could happen because, yeah, the Ling backstab. Oh, man. It's just so scary. And look at this. Clem is even moving to the top left saying, hey, let's just secure this base and defend these 2 bases at the same time. Zerglings in the middle. They do a nice spready. Overseer will allow him to clean those up. Don't want to waste Banelings on it, though. And there we go. Well done by Dark. Dark retaking the bottom right side of the map right now. Bio moving down the left side of the map. He's going to start gunning these down. Uh-oh. Okay, he has got his depots raised, and he's got Widow Mines behind them. But it's still a very fragile wall that Dark, if he could bust the production, would be massive. Oh, Ling's on the base. Okay, Clem is going to stim and start to deal with those Zerglings. And these guys, uh-oh, get out. He saved some of them, but doesn't... Oh, dude, don't redrop. Oh, he EMP'd the Infester. Oh, he dropped the Ghost to try and EMP the Infester. Very tricky plays by Clem. 5 Infestors out on this map, and in a low economy situation, the Burrow Infester is probably the most overpowered unit in the game, because what Dark can do, guys, is he can burrow an Infestor, put it here. There's a turret there, but he can put Infestors here, here, over here, and he can basically see, and whenever Clem clumps up, he can fuck with him. He could also do the neural snipe trick, which he's been using a little bit, but I think Fungal, to catch the army, hold it in position, is actually the game winner, and you can see just how much vision these burrowed units have, which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know why a burrowed unit has so much vision, personally. But it does give a crazy amount of information. And oh, he neurals it, and he's EMPing the other ghosts, trying to do what he can there. And he's going to go for it. He's going to dive, 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 dive. Oh, no, he steals the Liberator. Very cute play. And look at this, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Dark is finally going to collapse in on, steals both the Liberators and the Ghost with Neural Parasite. Says, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Clem says, fuck you, man. Fuck you. Almost fought back, almost kept himself alive in this game, but what a barn burner. What a slobber knocker. What an absolutely primo A-grade choice cut of StarCraft that we've watched here. This is absolutely delicious game 2, and Clem was not happy after game 1. He fought really hard, but Dark continues to be the Achilles heel of Clem. Oh! 27 kill Widow Mine, not bad. Bio hanging on for their dear life, but look at those Fungals, dude. Fungaloo! Clem, he does not want to leave the game. He's like, maybe I can win. And you can see the army supply is like surprisingly close even here at this point. Of course, he is basically dead. That Fungal must have been queued up a while ago as it completely whiffs. And Clem finally taps out at the end of that game, despite being much more cost efficient. Dark just had so much of the map all game long. You can see 1,288 Zerglings died. Hot damn! 35 Ghosts, 325 Marines, 23 Marauders, 24 Libs. This Baneling count doesn't actually show you accurately because the ones that blew themselves up aren't counted. That's only the ones that got killed by the Terran. Just for those guys who were wondering. Like, wasn't it more than 100 Banelings? It was. It was probably like 400. 5 Infestors, 5 Vipers, 76 Hydras. Damn, that was sick. GG, well played. Dark takes the 2-0.